Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm here today to share with you another Make It Monday tutorial. Today, we're going to use the Elements of Text bundle and the Natural Botanicals bundle. Well, they're actually not bundles, they're just stamp sets. There's no dies that come with these. They are online exclusives, so you can hop on over to my blog at blessedbycards.com, search on online exclusives, and you will see them pop up. So for the first card that I did, I started with a vanilla card base, and then I added a small layer of the early espresso. And then for the next layer of white, I roughed it up a little bit with my scissors to give it a more of a rustic look. It gives it more of a tattered, torn look. And then I used a blending brush with some early espresso ink and just kind of went around the edges to give it a little bit of a darkness to it. So I stamped in the center one of the kind of roundish ovally words from that Elements of Text, and I stamped that in crumb cake. And then I stamped the large leaf from the Botanical Gardens right in the center of that, and then that is in early espresso. Then I just took some of the splatters and I stamped the crumb cake, and then I also stamped the early espresso, but I stamped off, giving me a second generation of that splatter for the darker color, giving it just a little bit lighter. Almost looks gray, but it turned out really lovely. Then I stamped with Sympathy in early espresso ink, and that is from Unbounded Love, and then just added a few gold sequins, and that completes our first card. So the second card that I created, I used the flower from the Natural Botanicals, and again I used that oval image from the Elements of Text. I stamped that Elements of Text in a basic gray onto some smoky slate, layered that with a basic gray, and then I added some black bling. I stamped the flower itself in Memento black ink and the thank you also in Memento black ink. So that just kind of gives you a very simple and sleek card using some neutral colors. So that's our second card. And our final card, I used the same image of that flower, but instead of going neutral, I did a pop of color. So I started with the Misty Moonlight card base, and I added a layer of the Secret Sea. That's the new in color. And I added that on top of the card front. And then again, I put a layer of very vanilla on top of that. So I stamped this time, instead of the circular greeting from the Elements of Text, I stamped the rectangular one, and I did stamp that in the basic gray image. I stamped the same flower, but I did stamp that in Misty Moonlight, and I used an alcohol marker to color that in. Then I just took a blending brush and went kind of on the outside of it to give it a little spotlight of an image. I stamped the greeting in basic black and added a little bit of blue bling to kind of enhance that. I did take a watercolor pencil and color the top of that with a little bit of yellow. So you can do a variety of cards using the Elements of Text and this Natural Botanicals stamp set. So hop on over to my blog and download a free project sheet. It has all the supplies, all the measurements, and everything that you'll need to create these cards. You can shop 24/7, and if you have any questions, please let me know. But thanks so much for watching, and until next time, be blessed.